La 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 la. My name is Femi Anikulapo Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Do you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the tallest reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
Soldiers helping Nigerian soldiers fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have said
there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice about
no religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
la 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 la. My name is Femi Anikulapo Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the tallest reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about any
no religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about any
no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
Said there had hardly been any administration.
practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about any
no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
Said there had hardly been any administration.
practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about any
no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the kind of justice
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the kind of justice
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the kind of justice
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the kind of justice
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria.
the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the kind of justice
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about
no religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about
no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
Executive order comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about
no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about
no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about
no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
There had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about any
no religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
from this interview, because you have
There had hardly been any administration.
practitioner will explain the end of justice
Under the law,
about any
no religious body in Nigeria.
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
My name is Femi Anikulapo Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the kind of justice about
no religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
My name is Femi Anikulapo-Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you, don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Do you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the kind of justice about
no religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
la. My name is Femi Anikulapo-Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Do you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the tallest reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner, when of place, the end of justice,
no religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
My name is Femi Anikulapo-Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Do you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the tallest reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely.
From this interview, because you have
There had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner, all of place the end of justice about
No religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
My name is Femi Anikulapo Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Do you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
There had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner will explain the end of justice about any
No religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
It's another beautiful Tuesday here in the nation's capital, and there's so much going on in the polity as regards politics, politicking, and the events that are making the rounds. Don't forget that some new development that is on that will keep you abreast with all of the things going on. My name is Daniel Wawaso, and this is the conversation here on People's Television. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this time out. Welcome back. Now we kickstart with the trending issue and the most recent news that just broke a couple of minutes ago, that Senate President Bukola Saraki has officially resigned his membership from the All Progressives Congress. Now, in his tweets that was seen today on social media, he did not specifically say the party he would be joining, but his tweet read that after due consultation and due consideration, he has resigned his membership from the All Progressives Congress. Now, that tweet did not say the political party that he'll be joining, but it is long expected. There have been so much anticipation as regards the exit of the Senate president, from the APC. Now, there are so many talks as regards the campaign right now. What would happen to his seat as a Senate president? Will he retain his seat, owing to the fact that as it counts now, the PDP is still the minority in the House, and the APC, the ruling APC, is still the majority in the Senate. What would happen? Are we going to see a case where the minority would lead the House, even if he decides to join the PDP? Would he retain his seat as the Senate president? Okay, as a result of his announced resignation from the APC, talking about the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, Other developments have emerged. We also have confirmations that the governor of Kwara State, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, has also resigned his membership from the APC. Many have said, and I've been thinking, there's no how Saraki would leave the APC and his son, his political son, would not join him. I mean, he literally would go where his father goes. So there's no much of a surprise, hearing that the governor of Kwara State actually have left the APC. That did not shock anybody. I mean, yes, the news came, it was much anticipated. There's so much to talk about. But don't forget that build up to all of these defections and all of this resignation from the APC, that the national body, the national leadership of the APC, had already dissolved the APC Executive Council in Kwara State already, and has also instituted a caretaker committee, that will oversee the re-election or the election of new Congress leaders, new party leaders, new Congress, new wards, and all of them starting again. It's more like a start over again for the APC in Kwara State. But nonetheless, there are also speculations that the National Public Secretary, talking about the spokesman of the APC, may also just toe the line of the Senate President and the governor of his home state, talking about Abdul Fattah Ahmed. We wait to hear that, in as much as we have not seen or heard any official statement from the National Public Secretary of the APC. I'm talking about Bolaji Abdullahi. But we will keep you abreast with all the things that is going on. Okay, those are stories that have broken, and trust me, social media is on fire right now. There's so much talk, there's so much reaction right now. As at the beginning of that, when that tweet broke about 47 minutes ago, the name Saraki was not on the trending list. But when it broke, it moved up to number 9 on the Twitter trends, having over 9,100 tweets. And moving up in less than 5 minutes, it moved up to number 2, having over 10,000 tweets, to that particular topic. I mean, it shows how social media is already on fire. People are already talking and speculating the next day. But we will not, we will not be here to speculate all of that. But we will be taking a deep look into what's happening on social media and seeing all the reactions that is trending there. Yes, we have our in-house analysts who will be looking at all the happenings in social media and, extraying and shedding more light. Don't forget, it's a season of defections and lots of drama happening in the polity. Away from that now, let's also tell you that some of the stories that made the headlines was the fact that 12 lawmakers served Governor Otom of Benue State an impeachment notice. The crisis rocking the Benue State House of Assembly just took another dimension as the governor was served an impeachment notice. But there have been so much reactions. There have been so much, counter reactions as regards that impeachment. But let's see how that impeachment process was served.
The crisis in the Benue Assembly began with the impeachment of Tekimbe Kinyange, his deputy and majority leader. It happened 24 hours before Governor Otom defected. The crisis in the Benue Assembly began with the impeachment of Tekimbe Kinyange, his deputy and majority leader. It happened 24 hours before Governor Otom defected to the PDP. Few hours later, the police sealed off the assembly complex. On the day, Kinyange maintained that he remained speaker in spite of a 6-month suspension. Now he is back with a group of his colleagues and insists that assembly members are now on suspension.
In the course of our action, we considered the honorable members that invaded the chambers of the House of Assembly, causing a lot of unrest in the state and breaching the peace that we have been enjoying in the state. And then we looked at their conduct. That was not acceptable. The motion was moved for their suspension, and 15 honorable members were given 6 months suspension for the unruly behavior and breaking into the House of Assembly against the procedure and the laid down rules of the House of Assembly.
He also spoke on the impeachment notice served on the governor.
Other items were brought that were on the other paper. A motion was moved by the majority leader to give a notice of impeachment to the governor on impeachable offenses that the governor has committed over these past 3 years. And we looked at it. I saw it had merit. You know, usually 10 members will have to bring up a petition, and then once I consider it is tenable, I will look into it and then possibly transmitted. And I saw the reasons he adduced. You know, that embezzlement of local government funds were one of the reasons he brought. About 40 to 50 million per each local government is taken out every month. Around the 22 local governments, that's over 33 billion naira.
And while the Kiange-led group were in session, the other group of lawmakers sat at Government House, Makurdi. The pro-autumn group handed down a 6-month suspension to lawmakers who participated in what they insist is an illegal session presided over by an impeached speaker.
In this city, as you can see yourself, before we sat, we heard, and I believe, that 7 members, including the suspended speaker, were allowed in.
Welcome back. Now, we saw that clip there, and that was the impeached speaker, talking about Tekimbe Kiange, yes, who was reading out the impeachment notice. And also, we saw another reaction, the other faction that maintained that Kiange remained a suspended member and an impeached speaker, and so he has no leverage or he has no right to, you know, issue a impeachment notice to the governor. Anyways, the police have waded into the matter, and according to what we hear, the police is actually taking sides, and civil society organization has come out to call on the federal government, talking about the President Buhari, to please intervene as the police is taking sides in the crisis rocking the Benue State House of Assembly, which it's not good for our democracy. Okay, but the governor, in a swift reaction, has dismissed all impeachment plans and said that it is a plan in futility. He said, I mean, it would not work. I mean, you know, but also dismissing Otom's alleged impeachment plan is former Senate President David Mark, who has come out to say that it is null and void, and he said in the statement by his media aide, Paul Mume, that the impeachment of Otom by 8 out of 30 members of the State Assembly is purely an exercise in nullity. Now, he said the Benue State lawmakers have violated Section 188, subsection 2 of the Constitution, which requires a notice of impeachment to be supported by at least one-third of the House. It doesn't seem like he's the only one speaking now, because the PDP reps caucus in the National Assembly have also come out to condemn the act and have condemned the attempt by the Benue State House of Assembly to serve Governor Otom an impeachment notice. Now, the PDP caucus, led by the Deputy Minority Leader Chukwuka Onyeama, who addressed a press conference on the matter, described it as gross violation of the 1999 Constitution. They also threatened to derail the passage of the 2019 election budget environment request from the presidency. Now, one will ask, how does this affect, you know, the election budget by the president? You know, yes, you can speak about what's going on in Benue State, but it doesn't affect what the president said. The president has asked for your assent to a particular budget. I mean, it's for national interest. You should do that. Whatever it is, we just hope that they don't play politics with all of the things that we see happen here. But the PDP is not stopping there. They have accused the APC of fueling the crisis in Benue State. So much so. But in this period of the campaign moving, we also hear that the governor of Nasarawa State, Al-Makura, has reshuffled his cabinet. In a major reshuffle, 9 appointees have lost their jobs. 9 commissioners and 2 aides have lost their jobs. I mean, this is in a big reshuffle. Some due to their new political affiliation, while some due to the fact that they need to pursue other professional careers or other political ambition, and they need to move on with their life and career. So now the Al-Makura drops 9 commissioners in the cabinet reshuffle. It's a major one. It's a major one for that state. But nonetheless, he would make reshuffles now and get to work. What's important is for the state to work, whatever it is. Talking about the campaign, back to the campaign stories now. We also hear, it broke today that the former deputy governor of Niger State, talking about Ibeto, has resigned his appointment as the Nigerian ambassador to South Africa. PDP was Liu of Niger State. That didn't work. Then he joined the APC. Coming back. You that have been in the position here on People's Television.
Is helping Nigerian voters fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are
Welcome back. Yes, I'm joined by Adeshola Aremu, in-house analyst, who we're going to be looking at all of the issues from the Benue State Assembly to all of the, impeachment notices that we're seeing and how this is affecting the policy. Welcome to the conversation, Shola.
Hi, Daniel. How are you today?
Fine. Now, look at the stories that have been going out since yesterday, this morning. Yes, 8 members of the Benue State House of Assembly served the governor an impeachment notice.
Well, I wouldn't want to. It depends on where the source you're reading from, and it depends on the source you actually want to quote. The Benue story is one that one need to, I think you need to. You just have to be careful about it, because we've had stories where where some part of the media claimed 6 members, another part of the media claimed 8 members, and we also have people who had actually claimed 12. So on this, well, I think it's a very sensitive. We don't know who is telling the truth now.
Okay, well, let's leave the numbers now. Let's talk about the fact that the reports at the police are beginning to take sides in this matter, which is not good for democracy.
That is very, very worrisome, because the police are supposed to be apolitical. They're supposed to be in the middle. They're supposed to maintain peace and order. But this is not the first time, I can tell you. The police will surely come out and tell you, oh, this is the reason why we're doing this, because they said they actually wanted to prevent the break of law and order. But from the look of things, in my own opinion, though, I will tell you, it's not a very tasteful report coming from that side. The police should have done better.
But Judith, this is not the first time we are hearing of a smaller number of an assembly trying to oust a governor. It happened to Fayose at the time.
Well, if you want to talk about the history of, like, it is only in Nigeria where you have 19 governors, more than about 26 or 27 other governors. It's only in Nigeria where you have 6 legislators impeaching in a house of 30 or in a house of 27. But saying all this, it calls for us to, like, now check ourselves and see, are we really getting it right in this country? The power of incumbency, it's something I always hate to talk about. There shouldn't be any power. The only power you have as an incumbent government should be the power of development, when people will see. Because if I had ruled maybe years before now, maybe people would have forgotten. But if you're still ruling, what I feel should be the power of incumbency is, oh, people can still feel the impact of my government. So they wouldn't, or they shouldn't, rather, forget in a hurry. So I should have that edge over whoever is coming, who might have done in the past, or who might not, even have not been tried before. But the way we take things in this country, let's give it to the presidency, because the special advisor to the president came out this morning and, like, the Mr. President is in far Togo, and how can he, although there's nowhere you can influence anything, but there's been a disclaimer, so to say, from the presidency that the presidency or the president has got no hand in this. So we should, for now, believe that fact. But who is the police taking orders from?
There were also speculations that Senator George Akume came into the state with police from Abuja. Those were accusations that were said by the other part of the house that seemed not to be on his side. Anyway, moving up now, we have heard lots of condemnation as regards this particular Benue story. The former Senate president has come out to speak and say it is null and void. I mean, you can't say this. Who is seen as a father in the state?
No, you can't say Mark is seen as a father in the state, because where was Mark when Akume? What's the relationship between them? And what has David Mark actually done for Benue that will give him that fatherly role or that fatherly figure? But it's kind of, it is laughable, so to say, if the likes of David Mark will come out and say things like this, because history is still there. When David Mark was Senate president, things like this happened, not 1, not 2, not 3. And there was never a time, probably because it was the ruling party then.
No, but David Mark has been commended for his maturity as Senate president in his time, holding down the house.
No, we're not. So has Saraki. But what I'm saying is, during your time, when David Mark was the Senate president, PDP was in power. We have series of cases like this, like so many of them, cases upon cases. But there was never a time he frowned against it, possibly because the party was in power.
Okay. Also, the 2 principal officers of the National Assembly, talking about Saraki and Dogara, has called on Mr. President to call the police order, owing to the fact that, yes, the police is controlled from Abuja. There is no state police. So if the police take side, it means they have authority or order from a higher power, from the center.
Well, we are yet to see a situation where, the presidency will be speaking one voice and the police will be saying another thing. We saw that happen when the Senate President House was blocked from coming out from his house. The police came out and said, no, we didn't send anybody. But like you rightly mentioned, where do the others come from? And Well, talking about Bukola Saraki and the Dogara, I think the relationship between these two individuals in the recent time, it's been so rosy.
So rosy.
So rosy. Like, go and check. I checked a couple of tweets about the Senate president, and for the last 3-4 weeks now, he hasn't been speaking as an individual. It's been like we releasing a joint statement, or me, Saraki, alongside Dogara. They've been seen everywhere together. So I think
their bromance is enhancing.
I think there's something more to it.
Anyway, let's get closer to their bromance now. Yeah. I mean, a couple of minutes ago, say 53 minutes ago approximately, we saw a breaking news tweet from the Twitter handle, the official Twitter handle of the Senate President, that is Bukola Saraki, announcing his resignation from the APC, and he didn't mention in that tweet where he will be joining.
Well, I can tell you it is getting interesting in Nigerian politics. This is Bukola Saraki, but I don't think it should be breaking to anybody, because the words are already, it's been on the wall.
The body language, it was expected.
So, like, to me, when it's breaking news, but it's still not a breaking news, because this is, as in, people have long awaited this to come.
Even now that he didn't mention a particular political party, there have been speculations. Should we also say that when he finally announces a political party, we should not be surprised as well?
Well, where will Saraki go to? We can only speculate, but the man, I can tell you, is a strategist, is a political strategist. He's very good at that. This is a man who outplayed his own father in his own domain.
Many have said so.
The man who actually brought him into politics.
He sent his father to political exile.
You get, and the man was like, no, I've not retired, but you retired me. Bukola Saraki, from political history, I will tell you, he is a very good player.
Okay.
So to say.
Well, men or sons loyal to him have also told the path. The governor of Kwara State has immediately turned in his own resignation.
What do you expect?
And we also hear speculations of the national spokesperson for the APC. That is a very sensitive position.
Well,
didn't he see all of this coming before going to recontest? That was very sensitive.
I will still tell you something. Like I have mentioned it to a couple of friends who are talking. As it is now, there is no sure person in either of the party. You really do not know who is coming next. It's a game plan. Why did the Senate President, why did he leave it this late? He allowed this, the foot soldiers are supposed to come after you, but you allow them to go first. And now he's still hanging. Still hanging because he has actually not decided.
Yes, or he has not made it
public yet. So, let's keep watching. It's a drama, and it's unfolding.
More drama also as the Nigerian ambassador to South Africa, Alhaji Ibeto, resigned his position, and also he made it clear he's leaving the APC for the PDP. Well, former Deputy Governor of Niger State.
Yes, many of these people, you know how politics is done in this country. You have to be from someone to someone. So, like, there's been this, the coming of the... is the NPDP that time. That's the coming of Bukola Saraki, the Dogaras, and all of them. When they came that time, definitely you would have expected ordinarily them to have to do a kind of lobby for some of their guys to get appointments in the federal government, which I think is what is playing out right now. So we still see more, because if a certain person had brought you into getting an appointment with this government, and that individual is leaving, I think
you have to leave as well. But prior to all of this, the national leadership of the APC dissolved the Kwara State APC Council and installed a caretaker prior to when they would hold state ward congresses.
Got reactions from many angles. Even the so-called committees are saying, okay, they are not going to adhere to that. But all this thing playing out, Daniel, they are things that before Saraki will come out to announce, you saw the protest that came out, and people say, before he will even make the pronouncement,
expel
him. But I want to give that to the leadership of the All Progressive Congress, the APC, for not so going that way, because it would have been very disastrous. It would have been very immature of them. It would have been very ridiculous of them to have done that. The man state, we have the freedom of association, so he could decide to leave the party. So expelling him, that will bring me back to what is happening in Benue. The truth is, it is very, very, very kind of distasteful, because fine, these guys are they are in the party, they decide to leave, allow them, let them be. This show of political strength is not going to change anything. They've gone. We still read that the Deputy Senate President is being grilled. All this thing at this time, I believe they are too much for us to swallow in the political sphere.
Really too much for us to swallow. Anyways, what do you see coming in the few weeks ahead? We've still not heard from speculations like the Speaker. We've still not heard from speculations from Iman Tamboa. There's still speculations that we've not heard of. What do you see coming?
Well, I can tell you, one thing you can expect is expect the unexpected. Both the expected and the unexpected. The truth is still that all these guys, there is a chain reaction. It brought them in, the same chain that brought them in is the same chain that's going to take them out. The most, do I want to say, surprising element that I have not seen as an individual, who I'm still expecting, is a certain senator from Kaduna State.
Very well.
Because this man has consistently, I don't want to say done anti-party thing, but he has consistently
spoken in ways that are suggestive.
That you will think he will be the first person to leave, but he's still there. So if
maybe it's part of the game plan.
Exactly, because maybe I need an ear inside the APC. So now it leaves us to we don't trust ourselves anymore. You don't even know. Look at the Benue State governor. A week or a few days
after meeting with the national leadership.
After meeting with the national and confessing and even admitting that he made a mistake. I want people to get to see that. So is that a thing of honor?
As a leader.
As a leader. And people still go and sacrificing their time, sacrificing their energy and strength for this kind of individuals. I would have expected, oh, I'm here, you summoned me. No, there's no going back. Because I knew you can't be with the likes of the River State governor, the Senate
Baraje.
In 2-3 days to time, and you're now summoned to the APC secretary, and you went there, and you admitted, that is the key word, admitted you made a mistake.
And said you were given a red card, and that you're still a member of the APC.
Daniel,
it's speaking from both sides of the mouth now.
Yeah, it is really perfect. It's not as funny as we take it.
Very true, very true. Yes, like Shola said, it's pathetic. It shows the kind of crop of leaders that we have. Thank you very much, Adishola Remo, for joining me on the conversation. That's how much we can take here. So much drama, but don't forget to keep you up to date and keep you abreast with all that is happening or that would happen as they unfold. My name is Daniel Wamboso. The news at 8 is next.
Soldiers helping Nigerian soldiers fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner, when this place end of justice.
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is.
And here we go then. Great atmosphere and the allure and glamour of this international Champions Cup. Rashford inside the area, Rashford scores! Well, he chucked home by Marquinhos, Chiellini has scored. Pastore in the box, and Mosley! Iwobi, yes, Arsenal level it. Shot from distance, oh, what a goal! An absolute doozy.
It's new, it's here. It's premium entertainment for everyone from August 1st. Get popping every day with Ebony Life TV. Mondays are from Nollywood. Tuesdays are for novellas. The Next Generation have a blast on Wednesdays. Thursdays are for drama. Fridays are there to excite you and binge every weekend.
My name is Femi Anikulapo Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the tallest reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely.
From this interview, because you have
there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner, well explained the end of justice about
no religious body in Nigeria validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
My name is Femi Anikulapo Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the tallest reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
Senate President Bukola Saraki has officially announced his exit from Nigeria's ruling party, the All Progressive Congress. Saraki made this announcement on his official social media handle, saying, quote, "I wish to inform Nigerians that after an extensive consultation, I have decided to take my leave of the All Progressive Congress." Although the Senate President is yet to announce his new party, the expectation he is likely to join the main opposition party, PDP. It could be recalled that Saraki joined the APC on January 29, 2014, after falling out with the then PDP government led by President Goodluck Jonathan. He was among 11 PDP senators of the period who informed the Senate of the departure from PDP today. We now have personally signed statement from the Senate President where his decision to leave the APC read thus. He touched heavily on the not-so-rosy relationship between the executive and the legislature in the last 3 years. The Senate President also acknowledged the efforts by the new APC chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, to make him and other aggrieved party members to stay. But he blamed those he tagged the fifth columnist for putting a wedge in the reconciliation efforts. Let's take a bit of his direct quote in this 20-paragraph statement. Quote, "What we have seen is a situation whereby every dissent from the legislature was framed as an affront to the executive or as part of an agenda to undermine the government itself. The populist notion of anti-corruption became a ready weapon for silencing any form of dissent and for framing even principled objection as corruption fighting back. Persistent onslaught against the legislature and open incitement of the people against their own representatives became a default agreement in defense of any shortcoming of the government in a manner that betrays all too easily a certain contempt for the Constitution itself or even democracy that it is meant to serve." The emergence of the new National Party executives a few weeks ago held out some hopes, however slender. The new party chairman was swung into action and did his best alongside some of the governors of APC and His Excellency the Vice President. I thank them for all their efforts. However, as I realized all along, there are some others in the party leadership hierarchy who did not think dialogue was the way forward and therefore chose to play the fifth columnist. These individuals went to work and ensured that they scuttled the great efforts and the good intention of these aforementioned leaders of the party. Perhaps had these divisive forces not thrown the cogs in the wheel at the last minute and in the manner that made it impossible to sustain any trust in the process, the story today would have been different. For me, I leave all that behind me today as we return to the party where I began my political journey, the People's Democratic Party, unquote. Now joining us live by telephone call is our political correspondent, Francis Etupo, who has been at the National Secretariat of the All Progressive Congress. Hello, Francis.
Hello.
Could you tell us about the mood in the APC Secretariat?
Hello?
Hello, Francis. Tell us about the mood in the APC Secretariat.
Right now, I am at the APC National Headquarters in Abuja, and the feelers we are getting, it seems even the party is not even aware of the report that the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, has become. We spoke just now to the governor of Imo State, and he felt, well, he was not aware when Saraki joined the party. So just on a lighter mood, that he's not aware when Saraki joined the party, he shouldn't really know when he's leaving the party. But that the defection of Saraki, as it has been widely reported, will have no adverse effect on the 2019 elections. That people are free to move anytime they feel like they have other things they want to achieve, because there are so many other platforms, and it will have no adverse effect on the 2019 elections. And of course, President Muhammadu Buhari will win the 2019 election fair and square. That was his exact word when we had an interaction with him just about 10 minutes ago before he left the headquarters.
Okay, now, Francis, while you stand by the Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed, a close ally to the Senate President, has also dumped the All Progressive Congress. Now, is there any sign that more governors are leaving the ruling party anytime soon?
You see, those have not been confirmed because I tried to reach out to speak to the National Publicity Secretary. He was not picking his call. But a aide to the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, by name Mr. Julius, told me that that is fake news. And besides that, reasons to believe that particular story may be fake news came later in the evening today when I confirmed that there was a stakeholders meeting held in Kwara State where Saraki presided over, where he met with stakeholders in the APC in Kwara State, and that the National Publicity Secretary was not part of that meeting. So, and that the governor, if there are reports that the governor has left the APC, it will not be, it will not make any difference because the governor, is loyal to his godfather, and that is the Senate President, Bukola Saraki. So it is expected. But for now, it is yet to be confirmed as it is.
Okay, now having that we can't confirm that of the governor of Kwara State, we just read out the statement signed by the Senate President, clearly stating that he's moving over to the PDP. Thank you very much, Francis, for that insight.
Well, thank you so much.
Now, me live here in the studio is Paul Sawyer, political analyst. I will be discussing this defection's effect and the outcome and the outpour rather of this. Welcome, Mr. President. Now, having listened, to Francis, our correspondent, who is live on ground, he's saying that the party seemed to be in the dark about this particular defection. There are people who were expecting it, but the formality of it is still vague.
Well, it's interesting how the Imo State governor was able to see the humor in the matter. It's actually, ultimately, it's not a do or die issue. We live in a free and an open society, and we are all permitted to make our alliances as we choose, as we deem fit. And ultimately you make your alliances based on what you assume is going to be in your best interests, and particularly for politicians, in the interests of your constituents. And that's simply what has happened. I see the evolution of democracy in Nigeria here, an excellent thing.
Yeah, definitely. In the same read out of the Senate President, he made mention of the fact that this has nothing to do, with the leadership of, the party right now. The people speculated that he's just saying some columnists, as he, referred to them. Now these columnists, do you think there's still the same reason why this mass defection has been happening, or the blindsidedness?
Without doubt. You understand? I mentioned what ultimately is why do people join partisan politics? They have their personal interests, and people with varying interests come together because each one believes that in some way or the other, my interests will be will align with the others, and in so doing, there are times where you may be forced to even subsume your personal interests under a greater interest or cause. That exactly is what the Senate President did.
Okay, now talking about personal interest, it's quite funny they use those words. What's the place of ideology as is supposed to be vis-a-vis personal interest as we find in our Nigerian politics today?
The ideologies we talk about, ultimately, it still finds ideologies are developed by men. You understand? And I agree we are a far cry from where we ought to be. But there is no doubt about it that we are light years from where we were. Look at the responses of the populace concerning the charade in Benue, the attempted impeachment, or even what happened here concerning the Senate President, the public outcry, 11 years ago, we had one case of impeachment after the other. And it wasn't so much of an issue. Federal might could be deployed. What has happened is that the people, the populace, the society has grown. We have evolved. People are more aware. And we have grown politically. We have evolved politically. And that is why you can see in the Senate President's case how he was able to use purely democratic means and processes to forestall an attempt at brute force, in fact, tyrannical force. He was able to use democratic means and processes. And that for me speaks volumes as to where we as a people have grown to. I celebrate the evolution of Nigerian democracy. Yes. We are light years from where we are far from where we ought to be. Talking about ideology, it's difficult when you look at APC and PDP and SDP, and you begin to wonder where exactly is the division. I agree. But for me, the fact that our freedom as a people is expressed in the cross-carpeting, that for me is something to hold on to. I've always said this over and over again. Nigeria remains an open society. It is not a closed society like Egypt was before the Arab Spring. Once we have representatives that stand, that represent the people, and once these representatives have the freedom to, very recently, I think there was another excellent for me, an excellent plus for democracy, when the Benue State Governor was on his way to attend a reconciliation, and the youth forestalled him from going. It's democracy at work. The people, the voice of the people at work.
And now let me just ask, so what does he say that this defection, of the Senate President being very key? What does it have to say concerning the situation now in the Senate? Having the APC have, over 53 senators in the House. Does this affect the quorum, or I don't know how to ask that?
I think it's a little too early to call. There's a whole lot. There's going to be a whole lot of lobbying, and there's going to be a whole lot of all kinds of midnight meetings, and a whole lot of politicking, right now. But one thing that is clear is that the games have started. It's very clear. It's very clear that we're in for a very, very interesting couple of months, and by September, by 23rd, by the resumption, something tells me that there will be a whopping surprise. Something tells me.
Well, we can't wait to see that whopping surprise when they have to move on. Of course, Paul Sawyer is standing by to talk to us on other trending topics. Moving ahead, as if the APC was expecting the Senate President's defection, the party leaders on Monday night dissolved the executive committee of the party in Kwara State. APC's National Working Committee also asked the caretaker committee led by Bashir Bolarinwa to run the party pending the election of new leaders. National Chairman Adams Shomale and National Secretary Maimala Buni said in a statement that the move was necessary after some leaders of the party had participated in an open rally where they called on the Senate President to defect to the PDP. It added that caretaker committees will be appointed at the ward and local government level. The move came a few days after Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, called for the dissolution of the party structure and ground of disloyalty. The dissolved State Executive Committee, which is loyal to Senate President Bukola Saraki, is led by Ishola Balogun Fulani, who has been openly castigating the party along with other leaders in the state. Now, would you say this was foreseen, or was this a foresight move, Paul? You know, having this happen, because, like you said, we've been expecting this when they went to his house. What happened last week, and the build up to this. But are you trying to say? Can we say rather that Ashomole saw this coming?
In every likelihood, yes. Speaking about he's coming all guns blazing, and I'm not too sure if this is what is required right now. If you can hear the allusions from the Senate President, he seems to, his position seems to be that his problem isn't so much with the principal, being Mr. President, you know, but with what the principal permits, you know, the fifth columnists, you know, that have, and I listened recently to the postulations of another very faithful Buharist, Hajia Naja'atu Muhammad, you know, and that was her position too. That was her position too. She feels that fifth columnists have moved in, and as it were, upended the entire system.
Okay, can we say now this particular move could have been the last straw that broke the camel's back?
No, of course, without doubt, without doubt.
Having said that, moving along, now to the situation in Benue State, the clerk of the State House of Assembly has condemned the continuous police blockade of the complex. This was after the police on Tuesday chased away civil servants from the State Assembly without giving any reason for their action. Torese Adjena called on Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris to withdraw his men from the premises to allow staff to go about their normal duty. Now, moving along from that, the leader of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has berated the PDP House caucus for threatening to short the National Assembly if it reconvenes over the President's vehement request. He argued in a statement that the federal lawmakers, like the APC counterparts are proponents of federalism, while wondering why they would dabble into Benue politics. Now, according to Gbajabiamila, it is against the principles of true federalism for PDP legislators to seek to interfere in state matters to the extent of boycotting an important national assignment like passing the verdict. This, he says, amounts to pushing blame on President Muhammadu Buhari. Gbajabiamila also said a full investigation into the culpability of the police in the whole saga in Benue State can be achieved if the legislature reconvenes. The alternative, according to him, is
soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner, well explained the end of justice
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is.
My name is Femi Anikulapo-Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're welcome back. Now, I told you earlier that the House leader berated PDP caucus over the boycott threat to the presidency. Now, the presidency has denied claims that President Muhammadu Buhari has a hand in the move by minority members of the Benue State House of Assembly to remove Governor Samuel Ortom. Presidential spokesman Femi Adesina said this in a statement made available to journalists. According to Adesina, Buhari would never be part of any unconstitutional act. He added that any attempt to link the president with the inglorious past when minority number of lawmakers removed governors would not stick. A cross-section of Nigerians have learned their views on the ongoing political upheaval in Benue State. Some respondents expressed worries about possible anarchy in the state, while others remained positive, saying it is political gimmick.
My name is Muazu Shaibu. I happen to come from Kogi State in Nigeria. So, to go back to what happened, even as I died yesterday, if the 12 House of Assembly yesterday, they are the majority in the House. So the rest people doesn't gain access to enter the Assembly. So if they want to impeach the governor yesterday, they can impeach him because there has no other opposition. So I don't see.
Now, Frank Sawyer is still with me in the studio, and we'll be talking. See, let's look about what's been happening, you know, in Benue State, and then, you know, the caucus member of PDP coming up to say they are going to boycott the president. The presidency is saying it has no involvement, but wouldn't you say that, especially with the security situation that we're seeing in Benue State, where we have them barricading lawmakers from coming into the State Assembly, that the president is being quiet on all of this?
Very true. Very true. And I would have expected to hear something. If, you know, because what you hear is, you hear disclaimers, you hear denials from the police top brass, you know, concerning these things happening. But what you expect to occur is if indeed a bunch of policemen on their own, you know, which is an impossibility, if on their own set out to intercept the Senate president, well, this is an affront. It's an attack on the Nigerian citizenry. The Senate president, it's not a question of whether I like him as a person or not. It's the seat he occupies. In the same vein that Mr. President, it's not a question of whether I like him or not. It's the seat he occupies, you know. And so it's inexcusable.
Yeah, but
and if such a thing should happen, the question is, who is being sanctioned? Because this is, I don't know, how do we define treasonable felony? How do we define it? What do you need to do, you know, to qualify to be a treasonable felon? You know, you don't just use the instruments of state. You don't just use security arms to exercise brigandage against collective or majority will. It doesn't happen that way. We have democratic means. We have democratic processes. You know, so if you know the question you begin to ask, I hear the CP says, "I don't know anything about this." That, for me, is enough cause for him to be called back to answer a couple questions. How could this happen under your watch?
Under your watch.
And you say you know nothing about?
That is one question that definitely needs to be asked. The former Abia State Governor Orji Kalu insists that he has no plans to return to the People's Democratic Party. This comes against the backdrop of rumors that he was on his way out of the All Progressive Congress. Now, looking at this, people will say, okay, he's coming to say this. There's some sect that will say he's coming to say this because he's trying to. But what would you have to say to this particular one? Being that, especially, you know, seeing the senators that were alleged to have defected and then some came out to say, okay, no, this is not the situation of things and we did not. Do you think it's the right thing he did, or he's probably just doing this to basically for a selfish reason?
Ultimately, you look at the person defecting. You look at the political pedigree, and more importantly, the kind of traction such a person can. I feel like you know, with all due respect, Orji Uzor Kalu has seen better days. You know, and it appears like he seems to have his shelf life. He seems to have expired his shelf life. There's no doubt about it. Robust men like Mao Huamba Bua actually almost comprehensively put him out of business. That's the simple truth. That's the simple truth. And so I simply see him floundering.
Most of all of this thing.
Yes, and grasping at straws.
Thank you so much, Paul. So it has been a wonderful time having you in the studio. It's been a pleasure. You're still on to PTV tonight. It's time for a quick break. When we return, more stories. Do stay. Thanks for staying. A court in Lagos has dismissed the no-case submission filed by former Abia State Governor Orji Uzor Kalu in his bid to stop his trial over an alleged 3.2 billion naira fraud. Kalu is standing trial alongside his former Commissioner for Finance and Accounts, Jones Odeogu, and a company, Slok Nigeria Limited, on an amended 39-count charge bordering on money laundering to the tune of 3.5 billion naira. The EFCC had through its counsel, Rotimi Jacobs, closed its case against the defendant, but the defense led by Kalu filed a no-case submission on behalf of their client. In a short ruling on the no-case submission, Justice Mohammed Idris held that the prosecution had established a prima facie case against the defendants based on the evidence against the defendants. The judge also held there was a link between Kalu and the two others. Consequently, Justice Idris adjourned the case to September 10, 2018 for the defendants to open their defense. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has faulted the acquittal of former Sokoto State Governor Attairu Bafarawa of a 22-count charge of misappropriation of funds. It described the ruling by Justice Bello Abbas of the Sokoto State High Court as shocking. Bafarawa was discharged and acquitted alongside 3 others on the grounds that the evidence presented by the prosecution were merely hearsay. But EFCC, through its spokesman, Wilson Wadjaren, believes that the judge erred in law. It also consequently mandated its committee to immediately appeal the ruling at the Court of Appeal. The commission added that it was equally shocked by the wholesale pardon of 5 of the defendants by the current governor, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. Those pardoned by Tambuwal included 2 serving commissioners. The court has stopped the swearing-in of the new deputy governor of Imo State. The ruling came in on Tuesday morning just as Ekenze was about to be sworn in. The Attorney General of the state, Miletus, informed those gathered for the ceremony about the ruling, which halted the process. Top government officials have started gathering at echo chambers of the government house in Owerri, where the swearing-in was supposed to take place as early as 10 a.m. But just after 12 p.m., news of the court's order meant the inauguration could not continue. Imo State Governor Rocha Sokorocha had nominated Ekenze as deputy governor after the impeachment of Eze Madumeri. The police in Edo have foiled an organized robbery attack on motorists along Lagos-Benin Expressway. Commissioner of Police Johnson Kokumo disclosed this in Benin City. He said the alleged armed bandits had been terrorizing road users and motorists on the road for a while. He added that a member of the gang was gunned down by his men while others escaped with bullet wounds.
It is yet another police briefing on crime fighting in Edo. But this time, it is on a distress call the police say they received few days ago from the Lagos-Benin Expressway. Police Commissioner revealed that his men engaged the suspects in a gun battle.
Foiled armed robbery and death of an armed robber. On 28/7/2018, the command, responding to distress call that armed bandits were attacking motorists along Lagos-Benin Expressway by Ogbemudia farms. Policemen were quickly dispatched. The hoodlums were engaged in a gun battle. One of the armed robbers was gunned down. He died in a bid to escape, and one AK-47 rifle with 7 rounds of 7.62 mm live ammunition recovered from the criminal syndicate. Others fled into the bush.
The police also paraded some individuals alleged to be murderers and cultists.
Arrest of murder suspects. This will interest you essentially when you consider the victims of the murder. The victims of the murder have been lovers to the suspects. That is, the man killing the lady in a love relationship. So we have recorded 3 of such cases. And while we have chosen to inform members of the public, of course, for ladies to be wary of the kind of men, the kind of relationship they keep, and of course the type of men they go out with. On 15/7, one Alexander Obeji, 30 years, was arrested for allegedly killing his lover, one Mercy Oko, a 27-year-old female, with a cutlass on a farm at Uronibe, Orion 1 local government area of Edo State.
The suspects also admitted to committing the offences they were held for.
Of faith, so that we cannot get misunderstanding. Then, whenever I came to their house, she keep on fighting me with money.
6,000 naira.
Yes, sir.
You had demanded for the money. She said she will not give you.
Say she will not give me. And whenever I talk about the money, that she will kill me. So, and I went to the farm. She still meets me inside the farm. Both of us work together inside the farm.
Are you switching? Why are you there? Since on Monday. What carry you come? Which court? Yeah. How long you take there?
Since 2012.
Since 2012. How old are you?
29 years.
29 years. What do you make you enter court? How did he arrest you now?
Yeah?
How did he arrest you?
Just come for work. They sleep for his house. Then they come for his house.
What did they see?
They don't see anything.
Which work you they do?
Mechanic.
Don't marry?
Yes.
How many children you get?
Over 60 suspects were paraded by the State Police Command for various crimes.
We now have a press statement of the PDP's reaction to Saraki's defection. The PDP has welcomed Saraki, Abdul Fattah, and Ibeto. The People's Democratic Party welcomes the Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki, the Kwara State Governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, and the Nigerian Ambassador to South Africa, Ahmed Ibeto, to its fold. The party says the coming of Senator Saraki, Governor Ahmed, and Ibeto could not have been at a better time than this, when the nation requires the input of genuine patriots that will save her from an impending decline. They quoted Senator Saraki in particular that he has conducted himself with the affairs of the Senate in reflection of the wishes of the silent majority of Nigerians and had emerged a hero of democracy. The statement also quoted saying the party has no doubt that Senator Saraki, Governor Ahmed, and Ibeto will continue immensely to the new order and that engender good governance in our great nation. And this statement was signed by party spokesperson Kola Olobodinya. Moving ahead from that, electricity distributions and distributors of Nigeria, DISCOs, have threatened to pull out of an agreement with the federal government following allegations of breach of contract. They disclosed this at a press briefing in Abuja. According to them, the breach has led to a loss of about 1.3 trillion naira in tariff.
This is yet another allegations by DISCO against the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola. Just 2 weeks ago, they had alleged that the minister spent taxpayers' money on misguided projects. This was after the minister had accused the companies of shortchanging Nigerians. Fashola had given them the option of either improving power or quitting the business. But DISCO are now firing back over what they say is a breach of contract.
A loaf of bread comes with a cost. There's a cost of production to it. So let's say, for instance, if a loaf of bread that is supposed to be sold for 50 naira is now being sold for 30 naira due to government intervention. That is, the cost of getting the bread to the distributor is 50 naira, but the government says no, it should be selling at 30 naira. That means there's a 20 naira gap. If that gap is not addressed, what will happen with time is that there will be a pile-up of shortfalls, like the 1.3 trillion naira that we have in the power sector. So as time goes on, the bread seller will not be able to sell bread. The bread seller will not be able to sustain that business because you cannot be buying bread from the baker at 50 naira and you are selling it at 30 naira. It is the same thing with the sector and with the disco.
They also lamented what they say are illegalities in the ministry.
The second thing the government committed to do was they said there will be a debt-free financial book. What do I mean? No lender will lend you money if they look at your book and it is in perpetual deficit. Before we took over the entities, there were a lot of issues, debts, even there were gas debts, which was the reason for that CBN loan, people call intervention. Even some people make it look as if there was some injection of funds that were like free to the disco. That is not true. It was a loan, but at a good rate of 10%, which is still being paid back as a first-line charge back to the CBN. And not all our members have had access to that loan till now. But that loan was meant to settle legacy gas debt. So government said they will provide a debt-free financial book. That hasn't happened till today. The third thing they said, they promised that they will pay MDA debt, ministry, departments, and agencies debt, particularly the military installation. Well, thanks to the government, as at August last year, 29 billion naira was paid, which was a setup they used it to pay our debt to NBET. But the outstanding of over 70 billion remains unpaid till today. Not only that, since the time the government purportedly paid 29 billion in August 2017, these MDAs, particularly the military, they are still using electricity, and nobody has told us whether they have been able to pay a penny since then up to now. So
the electricity distributors, however, showed a readiness to meet Minister Fashola to resolve all contentious issues. Emmanuel Bagudu, PTV News, Abuja.
And finally, on the news tonight, the Nigerian Stock Exchange has lifted suspension on trading in the shares of Universal Insurance PLC. This follows the submission of the company's full-year audited report of the year ended 2017. The NSE says the suspension placed in the trading of the company's shares was lifted starting July 30, 2018. According to the exchange, the affected company compiled of relevant statutory laws indicating that it is written domestic gross premium increased from 178 million in March to 2017 to 346 million in 2018. The report shows that the company made a profit before tax of 131 million in 2018 as against 12.6 million naira loss in 2017. Profit after tax for Universal Insurance PLC stood at 118 million naira. And that's all on the news. On behalf of PTV News production crew, many thanks for watching. I am Aisha Jibrin.
It's new. It's here. It's premium entertainment for everyone. From August 1st, get popping every day with Ebony Life TV. Mondays are for Nollywood. Tuesdays are for novellas. The Next Generation have a blast on Wednesdays. Thursdays are for drama. Fridays are there to excite you and binge every weekend.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have
There had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner well explains the end of justice
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
My name is Femi Anikulapo-Kuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you. Don't let anybody know you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.